Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Welcome to the LegacyKnitz podcast. My name is Chelsea.
My name is Sue.
I'm the daughter.
I'm the mother.
I'm coming to you from Burlington, Vermont.
Vernon, Connecticut.
And that's our spiel. And we are at episode 50,
Whoa.
which seems crazy.
It does seem crazy, and we're kind of back on a good podcasting schedule, which is not easy to do. But I love that it's only 4 o'clock and we're doing this.
Is it already 4? Wow. Yeah. So I had a volunteer day today at work because the company I work for allots you a team volunteer day and then a personal volunteer day every year. So my team went over to All Breed Rescue in Williston, Vermont, and which is like a dog shelter, and we got to play with dogs and clean out their kennels. And a brand new litter of puppies was dropped off, I think either yesterday or the day before, which is why my eye is all puffy, because I am in denial of the fact that I am allergic to shedding dogs.
You always have been.
I'm going to put pictures at the end of this episode. I had this one puppy, and I was just telling Mom, I was so close to filling out the adoption papers, and I just had her next to my face for like 3 hours because she was so sweet, and she smelled like new puppy, and
Well, and I didn't realize, I saw that picture right when you sent it, and I typed in, "Oh my goodness," and never hit send.
That's fine. I figured you were busy anyway.
No, I was actually knitting with Sophia, and I was showing her the picture, and I was like, "Oh, wow, you never responded. You must be really busy with those puppies." Come to find out, I didn't respond.
That's all right. But so,
Puppy.
yeah. And then we got to leave early after we were done cleaning the kennels and playing with the puppies and everything. So that's why we get to podcast a little bit earlier today.
Which is perfect because it's a dreary, dark, overcast day. So by tonight, this wouldn't have been good.
No.
So it's perfect.
Yeah.
I planted yesterday a little vegetable garden, which makes me really happy. It's a little tiny one in the pool area. I decided to do it like amongst flowers, and it looks really nice.
Was there a raised bed inside of?
No, it's when you walk out of my office to the right where I used to have herbs, it's all vegetables.
That's so perfect.
It's perfect. Chipmunks right there, though, all the time.
Well, yeah.
I think I'm going to put some peppermint oil in the area.
I've heard that works really well.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
So planted that. Dad weeded the entire pool area. It looks so nice. But the pool's still covered because we're waiting for the liner to come in and to get redone.
Yeah.
It's all right.
That's okay. It's honest. Let's be honest. The weather has not been good enough for you to even.
I know, but you know me. I love an open pool with the gurgly water.
I know. Oh, it's so peaceful.
And it's right below my office, so I love to listen to it. But then again, I have to listen to kerplunk.
Creatures
falling in.
Oh.
Can you imagine this? So this is Mr. Romo. He's so darn cute. I was picturing this is when they drain it and it's just a big hole again. Imagine all the creatures that are going to be falling into that hole. They're going to have to get them out before they put the liner down. What if they put it down and there's a creature?
Bumps?
That is where my head went. Like, what if a chipmunk gets stuck under there?
No way.
Anyway.
Wrong people if that's what happens.
Next week, hopefully. It's going to be beautiful. The pool area actually looks really nice because it gets so overgrown and crazy wild, and it looks really good right now.
Yay. Maybe I'll have you take a picture so I can put it.
Yeah. My little vegetable garden is adorable.
I can't wait to see that. That's so exciting.
It's adorable. By the time you get here, it'll actually have started growing a little.
Next week, yeah.
Yeah, next week. Oh my gosh.
I know. It's crazy.
Time is flying.
It is. So, he just wants my chapstick so bad.
Oh, Mr. Romo. He's like, Mom's home so early and I love it.
Hey, it's my chapstick. You too. Thank you.
Oh, Isabel was in sleeping with us when we were knitting. She was in heaven. I feel like dogs love these days. I hate them.
Oh, just like, I know. Romo loves to just curl up and nap with me on these days.
I know. I know.
Should we talk knitting?
Let's talk knitting because I really, of course, I don't remember where I was last podcast, but I'm knitting on right now. Let's just say I don't have any finished objects.
Same.
Well, I right now am working, I'm a ridiculous knitter. I'm working on 3 fingering weight sweaters. And when did we podcast last?
2 weeks
Was
ago.
it 2 weeks?
Yeah, almost to the day.
The one I'm working on right now, like, is huge. And I don't think I had started it.
No, you hadn't. I almost can say that for certain. Because I remember I have to put the pattern in the show notes, so.
Yeah. Okay, so I have 3 fingering weight sweaters going.
Show us at least one of them right now.
Okay. All right, hold on. Phew, I have the name of it. Okay, so I'm working on the Hoodie Shawl Cardigan by Handmade by Sosu, Sosu. And her name is Susanne Summers. Maybe even Susanne Summers.
Ooh.
Not the Susanne Summers we're thinking of, but I'm in the middle of a row. I'm so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't even.
She's
So,
incredible.
What's that?
She's an incredible designer.
You know what? She's kind of new to me. And let's talk about this. The reason this came to the forefront for me is somebody at our trunk show, and I wish I remember her name. She was the woman that helped us carry everything in.
Yes. Damn.
I can't remember her name, and she spent a lot of time there, and she had this pattern and said, oh, I really want to make it. And my initial thought was, I wasn't crazy about it.
Oh. Right.
That's way more than 4.
That's at least double.
It's 4. It should have gone 4 times. That was ridiculous. Anyways, I wasn't crazy about it. I was like, it's unique. I thought, oh, it's really unique, but I'm not sure I like it. Well, I love it.
Well, and she has this design too. I think she offers it in a t-shirt as well.
Really? I'm very nervous that it's going to be too small.
Why? Oh my God, look at the details.
I know.
Look at, what is that seam? How did you do that?
Oh, isn't that gorgeous?
Huh.
That is just making one on one side and knitting 2 together, or slip knit, making one right, making one left. I don't even remember.
She left it on the outside.
Yep, I love it. So it is the largest size, which is only a 42, which, you know me, I make 2 times extra large. But the good thing is, if I don't like the fit, it's yours. So, and it will be so cozy for you. So I've tried it on. I cannot wait to bind or to put this on waist yarn. Because then I'm going to really try it on. And I think it does fit.
It looks like it should, based on how you're holding it and how it's framing your body.
Yes. So I still have to, I've changed a few things. Like this was supposed to be reverse stockinette, which made it very bubbly looking. So it looked like all pearl.
Oh.
I did not like it. So I went to the garter, garter ridges instead. I'm really happy with the garter ridges. I was tempted, because these are garter ridges, I was tempted to alternate the colors. So it's Kirk and Dream Phone, which is one of your colorways. And it's right here. Oh my gosh. So Dream Phone is going to be the sleeve. That's going to be the rest of the sleeve. Excuse me. It's shown in short sleeves. I'm doing full length sleeves.
Nice.
But I kind of was like, why didn't I alternate down there? But then I thought, no, it's kind of this mishmashy look.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe I went out of order because I was bored.
What do you mean?
I was supposed to do something here and do the hood. And then after that, you put the entire outline around it. I don't have any good pictures, but I got bored. So, and then I think you do something I-cordish. I still have a lot of knitting to do, believe it or not. I heard the hood takes a long time.
It must be a really good size hood then.
I think it is. So, and then I have to do the all the way around border, like around the entire sweater plus the hood.
It's a lot.
It's all right though, because it's mindless. It's definitely, I'm a little bored with mindless at the moment because I'm doing way too much mindless.
3 fingering weight sweaters is definitely a lot of mindless.
It's a lot of mindless, but so I used macaroon, which is one of our neutrals, and then I used Kirk, and then I used Dream Phone. Now I thought I was going to need 2 neutrals. I did 1. Now,
did you mean 2 skeins of your neutral?
Yeah, 2 skeins, and I only used 1. Oh. I think I'm going to need to go into both of these skeins. I'm pretty sure. I'm doing it with the cashmere base. I love macaroon.
It is so pretty. I have a skein of that here that I took for myself after our trunk show, and I haven't picked the perfect project for it yet because I am obsessed with that color.
And you'll see by another sweater, I'm really into the neutrally look right now. And the thing that I was really excited about is it really makes these colors pop. You would think I designed them all together.
Uh-huh.
And not at all. I mean, your Dream Phone is beautiful with it. They really all play really, really well together.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm trying really hard not to put this down. Like, I'm trying to be, I've really been quite monogamous.
Are you afraid you won't pick it back up if you put it down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am, kind of. So I'm just really, I don't mean this like I'm not enjoying it, but I'm pushing myself to stick with it, to be monogamous, because I really want these 3 sweaters in my rep. I want sweaters, and I'm sick of talking about it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. I love I love that sweater. I can't wait to see how yours comes out. Like, because I've never seen one in person, and I think I feel like I would be interested in knitting that.
Yeah, we'll wait to see to make sure this isn't going to be yours, because it all depends. It all depends.
Is it bad that it doesn't fit?
I know. But okay, so this is what I really discovered, and I discovered it through my fade sweater. I love fingering weight sweaters.
Yeah.
I love them. I think they're more flattering.
Yeah.
I think they're super comfortable because they can be light or warm at the same time. Mm-hmm. So
for like layering or
yeah, and it also makes me feel like I can wear hand knits in the summer. My fingering weight sweaters on well, let's just say it. I could probably be wearing a worsted weight sweater right now.
This might as well be worsted weight.
It's ridiculous.
So cold out.
I have on wool socks and a flannel shirt in June.
I know. This is crazy. It's been a year, like almost exactly a year when we moved up here. And the day we moved in, Justin and I were drenched in sweat, and the sun was shining.
I remember that. It's been a year. Feels like way longer than that.
It does feel like way longer, which is kind of cool because we do feel so established here. But
yeah. Oh my gosh. Best move of your life.
I would agree.
Best move. All right. What do you have before I keep going with my sweaters?
Well, I don't have a ton. I really have been only working on one project. It's pretty much the only thing I've posted about on Instagram. I have been pretty quiet on Instagram because of that. but that's literally the only thing I have to show you. And I've done a little bit of progress on my Hoodie.
I was like, I know what it is.
So yeah, I'll show you my big fun project first. This is the project that we were brainstorming 2 weeks ago. And true to my form, I didn't stick with any of the suggestions. I started with one of the suggestions, but then kind of rambled on from there. So
this is so impressive that you've done as much as you've done. You are like a brioche queen.
I don't know if I would say that. I'd say I will be shortly, but I will call myself a brioche queen when I can troubleshoot dropping stitches. Because right now it is like my biggest fear is dropping a stitch because I don't know how to fix it. And even watching videos sometimes, like, because when you watch a YouTube video, you're looking at a perfectly dropped stitch. Like, if it's on a seam or if it's on an increase or a decrease, God help you, because it's hard.
I'm just impressed that you're increasing and decreasing. And you have someone right down the road that you can, like, pick it up really gently and drive it to. Kelly.
I know.
She's that would give me some sense of relief.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like, yeah, I don't know. For this project, it just clicked. I don't know why or why not, but maybe mentally I was ready for it.
Oh my God. I think that is it. I think you just oh my gosh. It is, oh my gosh.
It's huge.
You so got it. It's perfect.
I love it. Well, it's certainly not perfect. There are definitely mistakes, but this is the reason I wish I had finished it, because it's all bunched up on this cord. But you get the idea.
Oh, okay. So tell us, I think what you did is perfection.
Thank you. So, okay. So for the back, I'll show the back as well, because I forget it's a double knit.
Oh, I like the other side better, but that's still stunning.
This is if like I want it to be a little more subtle while still having the colors, I can use this. So for so this is technically the right side. The dark color was the right side. Yeah. And I used Madewell Tosh. I don't remember the colorway, but it's just a really deep green.
Take my breath away.
Oh, thank you. So I used that. So that's what I started with, that, and then my Dream Phone colorway, or our Dream Phone colorway.
Oh.
Which I really liked, and I still think right now I would love it if I just stuck with those two colors. But I don't know. I can't.
It wouldn't have been you at all.
Yeah.
You're such an adventurous knitter. Like, I'm bored. Let's do something new. It's so great.
I know, but like then I look at samples. Like I went and I looked at Laura from the Fawn Knits knit one of these, and she stuck with two colors, and it was so beautiful. And the sample that he has on the pattern is with two colors, and it's so beautiful and a little more reserved. And I would love to have a finished object like that, but while I'm knitting, I get so distracted by color.
I feel like I wouldn't look back for 1 second, because yours is kind of like, so do you know what all those colors are?
Yeah. So,
okay, tell us.
For the most part. So this is a Legacy Fiber Arts Dream Phone. This is the colorway. This was a one of a kind that you gave to me, Mom, when we came up for Stephen West. Remember that skein? We each had one. It was like one of your test skeins for dragon eggs.
Oh, okay.
A little more subdued.
Yep.
So I used that for this next chunk, these purples with the orange.
Yep, I can see that now.
And then the purple is a Chili Knits. Which I'm going to keep going, but then I'll talk to you about another thing in a minute.
Okay.
Chili Knits. The blue is a mini that I had, and I feel so bad. I don't remember whose it was. But I just thought it would be pretty. The yellow is one of your Logan test skeins. It wasn't the fun. Yep. The green is Chili Knits again. The rust is Hedgehog Fibers Skinny Singles in the Copper Penny colorway. It was left over from my featherweight.
Look at how you just popped it in there for a couple rows. There you go. Put that in for a couple rows.
Just to break up the brightness a little bit.
I love it.
Then I did, this is another chelseaknitz. Oh, what is it called? It's the original one she like named after me. It was like, honey, I'm so sorry. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it on the screen though, if I can remember.
Yeah, I kind of remember, but I don't.
It was like Chelsea is so wild or Chelsea.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, this is Molly from a Homespun House. This is her Sugared Sweeties colorway, which I had used in this shawl that I'm wearing right now, and I still had a decent amount left, so I threw some in there. Then I went back to the Hedgehog Fibers Copper Penny, and then this really light. So see how there's like one really light, it's almost white. That's Hedgehog Fibers Pistachio colorway. And then the turquoise is chelseaknitz again. And then this is Madeline Tosh, the purpley variegated. I don't know the colorway. And then the very bottom is chelseaknitz again with her like electric green. I don't know colorways. And then Homespun House again with, I think this is her Mermaid of the Black Lagoon.
Oh.
I think that's what this one is. I could be wrong. But so what ended up happening was and I just finished the very last row. I have one more row before I start binding off. So last night I was playing a little bit of Yarn Chicken with the green here. Like I don't know where it is even, but it was like down to this, and I was like, could I squeeze it out? No way. Like all of this electric green that you're seeing at the bottom is what I would have had to knit with the rest of that green.
Wow.
So, and I will also say this is coming out very large, and I think the reason I did run out, or would have run out, is because I went up 1 or 2 needle sizes to accommodate gauge. That being said, with brioche, I think my gauge is probably a little more accurate. I think, because this is very loose. Like, this is a very loose knit. When you see it in person, you'll be surprised.
It is gorgeous.
Thank you. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really happy I went up 2 needle sizes because the drape, I think the drape is going to be much prettier. Like, it's very bouncy and...
It looks...
But it is very, like, I'm afraid of blocking it too much because I'm afraid it'll be very holey.
Oh, gosh, it doesn't feel that way at all looking at it.
And that was my hope. So it could be totally fine. I think I'm just not used to having a really, like, drapey, loose knit.
I feel like... Can that be made in DK weight, too?
Yes.
Okay, so I feel like I'm going to dye up some yarn for when you get home.
Yes.
And you can help me.
Yeah. Oh, it's so, honestly, like, I was trying to think of what level I would recommend this for. And seeing as I've only started one other brioche project in my entire life and I was able to get through this in 2 weeks, I would say it's a solid begin. I wouldn't say it's a newbie pattern. I would say it's someone with a really strong foundation of normal knitting skills could pick.
That's a good way, yeah.
Could pick this up and look at his abbreviations and use a couple of YouTube videos and be fine. It's mindless. Like, truly, I don't even look at the pattern. I just check off.
Even with the increases and decreases? Wow. I definitely have a mental block going. I'm creating this huge thing about brioche in my head. And I know the minute I do it, I'm going to be like, you are ridiculous.
You could do it no problem.
I know. I don't like how I can let something like that paralyze me. And it truly does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally know what you mean. Well, when I attempted to test knit for Mina's brioche, I I don't know. And I think this is just kind of who I am as in general. I don't think I was ready. Like I wasn't mentally at a place where like
You
I
didn't want it bad enough. You wanted that shawl. And I do believe that about learning. When you want something bad enough, you do it.
definitely.
And I don't mean you. I mean, that is how and I've talked about that before working in the yarn shop, like, or even teaching like someone how to knit. How badly do you want to knit that?
Yeah.
Like if it's like, yeah, it looks kind of fun, but I'm not sure. Okay, let's pick something else.
Yeah.
More manageable.
Yeah.
But if it's a big project and someone's like, no, it's what like Justin with socks. No, it's what I want to do. So you do it because you want it bad enough.
It's almost better that way because of that, because of exactly what you're saying. Like it's almost better to pick the most challenging product or project because you're motivated for the product. I'm messing this all up. Because like you said, you'll be so
No,
much
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. Well, you nailed it. Every time you would like post a little story or whatever with it, I'd be like, whoa, she's blowing me out of the water with this one.
Thank you. Thank you.
So great.
It is funny though, once you get into the rhythm with brioche, going back to normal knitting is very confusing because you're not doing those yarn overs before every stitch.
Yeah, and I watched someone, maybe it was you, doing brioche, and it was clicking. Like I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Like yarn over, slip one, knit. Like I don't know, but I knew when I watched that, I was like, you know what? I know I'll pick it right back up.
Oh, the joy.
Oh my goodness! I got to the end of my needle.
Oh, yay!
I am so close. I think I need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, I still need like 4 more bumps. It's all right. It's all right.
Dang it.
You want to see my next sweater?
Yes, I want to see your next sweater.
Were you done with the brioche?
I think so. I was just going to say the other reason I would recommend this as like a first brioche knit is because it's slowly like throughout the whole thing you're doing the same increase, and throughout the same thing you're doing the exact same decrease. So you're only learning 2 of them, which makes them a little easier to keep track of. Like I know with my brioche bandana cowl that I'm still working on by Lavanya, it has both like the right increase and the left increase. And for me, keeping track of which one is which is really hard.
Yeah. You've got to get some terminology around that. Because I know I've figured that out with make one right, make one left. Like right is back, left is front.
Yeah.
And left is front because there's an F in left and an F in front.
Oh.
And
That is brilliant.
I know. So right back, RB, left front. There's 2 Fs.
Genius. So I need to do
Now, yeah, having said that, someone's going, no, it's the opposite. I'm pretty sure I'm right. 98.5% I'm right.
I feel like you're right as well. That's sounding right to me.
Yeah. So once I figured that out, it was super helpful.
Okay. So maybe I'll try and do that then when I go to pick.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one, this is so close. So close it hurts. I'm working on the ribbing.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I have 2 arms, but only one gets cold. So again, I really have to do things to keep me engaged. Like I knew this sleeve was not going to keep me engaged. I needed a big boost. So yesterday, I picked up all the stitches around the edge and I'm working on the edging. The problem is everything I'm working on is size 4 needles, and I'm running out of size 4 needles because there's another sweater I started. So it's coming. It's really, really coming. And I'm actually enjoying the ribbon because it's knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one. Because right now all I'm doing is knit, knit, knit.
Have you tried that?
Have I tried it on? Is that what you asked me? No.
Okay.
But it's the same as my other one. Now I'm going to knit on this. It's the same as my other one, so I'm not worried. I think I have thrown the sleeve on.
I forgot that you had already made that pattern. So
Yeah, the Madewell is a great pattern. I do feel like, oh, always have a Madewell on the needles, but I'm kind of getting over that. Because
well,
my second one.
and you have 3 fingering weight sweaters on the needles. And like, I don't know, they're all very you know what I mean? Like they're very similar in nature.
They're all stockinette,
Yeah.
basically. But I do love fingering weight yarn. I love it. And this one's really fun. Really, really fun.
It's beautiful.
I do really like this one.
Oh,
And again, like throw it on a summer night. I have this one and I have the one with Molly's yarn.
well, even work, like for me, work is cold in the summer.
Yes, I feel like this is going to be the always have it in the car in case you're running into a restaurant, or the grocery store is always freezing cold for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not like going in the grocery store. I'm always cold.
Good Joe.
And I don't spend a lot of time in the freezer aisle either.
No, it's
Like
just,
Cardigan.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's sweater number 2.
I love it.
I love it. So I'm going to do this. I forgot how many rows. I think I have to do like 26 rows.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll bind off and then I'll cast the other sleeve on. That'll go fast.
And then you'll be done.
I feel like this and that first sweater will be done around the same time. Because I keep going back and forth between the two.
What are you going to do when those needles are cleared?
Oh, start more.
Sweater?
I'm all about the sweater. I am all about the sweater.
Do you have a pattern in mind?
No.
No, that's okay.
No, I'd like to have one. No, I should not even look because I'll just cast it on.
You're running out of needles, aren't you?
I am. I have to. I really want to order another pair of signature 4s.
I was just going to enable you to do that. I mean, you use them.
I use them like crazy. 4 is my go-to needle right now. It really, really is. So I'll probably get more when I come up the end of whenever we're coming the following week.
Highs?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. All right, your turn.
Well, I don't know. Do you want me to show my Legacy? I haven't really done much on it.
Just throw it up so people know because they're going Legacy.
Okay, so the reason I call it a Legacy is because the pattern is called a Parachute by Stephen West, but I'm using all Legacy Fiber Arts yarn. So it's a Legacy.
You know what I discovered?
Yeah?
The reason that I have all these sweaters is I realized I was telling Sophia this today, like, we're yarn dyers, so I can, like, I have yarn everywhere.
Huh.
So I don't have to, like, go, oh, I shouldn't buy more yarn. No, it's sitting there. That's why I have all these going all of a sudden.
It's the ultimate enabler machine.
Yes, we need to, after that update, that'll slow me down.
It'll slow me down. Put those brakes on. What?
Oh, look at that.
I'm not sure where the yarn is coming or going, but anyway, this is it.
Oh,
It's a tank top.
I love it.
Thank you.
Oh my God. I can't wait for you to wear that. Oh, I love that.
Thank you. So we'll see.
Dad's leaving. I had to give him the we're podcasting sign.
Oh, gotcha.
He's trying to talk to me.
Oh.
And he'll text me.
Oh. So your phone.
He's going to donate blood.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. So yeah, I haven't done a whole lot. All I have to do. Well, I shouldn't even say that because I haven't read far enough into the pattern. But I'm just making this a little bit longer for myself. And then I think I have to bind off. I think he does an I-cord bind off at the bottom here. And then somehow these get tacked up. And then I think maybe there's an I-cord all the way around, honestly. I'm not sure.
That would look really nice.
But I like raced. I got the majority of this done in like 2 weeks. And then I didn't hit the deadline that I wanted to wear it at. So now I'm just it's languishing.
I know. That's why I'm trying not to put any of these sweaters down.
A good move.
Because that's what I will do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying, but I also, what is that?
One of my awesome granny bags.
Oh my gosh, did I never see that one?
I think you sent it up with Jake, maybe?
Really? Oh, you know what? Maybe it was wrapped.
Probably.
I have to say that bag, along with awesome granny bags, are my favorite for my sweaters.
They are my favorite for everything. I was looking over at my basket, and it's literally awesome granny and fringe supply. They're like, yeah, they're my favorite.
I feel like I have one more.
You do, because I have 3. I don't know which one you're missing, though. You're missing your newest one, whatever one you just got.
Yeah, what is it? Oh, that's going to drive me nuts.
Honey, you want to come up? Come on. Oh.
I have no idea which one it is. It must be in the other room.
Was it?
That's going to make me crazy.
I know, they're my favorite bags.
I will tell you, if you're a sweater maker, especially fingering weight, these are my go-to fingering weight sweater bags. I love them. And my fringe. I want another fringe.
Me too. I'm so close to like treating myself to one. I really want the like brown one, like tan.
Who did I buy that for? Does Justin have that one?
He has a black one.
What color did I give you?
Blue.
Oh. Blue, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want a pink one. I don't know why.
Ooh.
I want a pink one so bad. Okay, so when you come home, we'll order them.
Okay. I love it. I love it.
We must pay ourselves for all the work we do.
Exactly.
We must. We work really hard. Okay. So, and plus. Okay, then I was getting together our update. I was counting all our yarn, looking at your yarn, wanting to start another sweater because I can.
Yeah.
So, I fell in love with the Granito. And again, looking at the picture, I have to be honest, I would bypass that sweater by the pictures. But Sophia had made one, and I fell in love with it.
Hers
You're
is
really frozen, but I'm going to keep talking like you're not.
yeah.
So I cast on the Granito with... Okay, now you're back.
I'm back.
The producer.
The producer.
So did Justin dye this, or did he tell you colorways? I know he is involved in this.
I just asked him, I was like, tell me something that you would buy. Like, if you were in a yarn shop, what would you buy? And he just kind of like threw like, really forest green and like some blue. He kind of just got my brain moving with it. But that being said, he does want to start dyeing a little bit. So
this is perfect. It is the most beautiful neutral. I am alternating. I am all about alternating. Honestly, I don't know that I have to, but I am not going to risk it because I'm investing all this time in a beautiful sweater. So I am alternating. So it is the producer. Unfortunately, there will be none in the shop update because I stole it all.
That's okay. I'll dye some more.
Yes, you said you would dye more. I'm not sure if I'm going to need it all.
I think
I think I'm okay. So it is the Granito by Joji Locatelli. I do believe I'm going to work the back and the front for a little bit and then join them in the round. And then it has side pockets. I know right now Christy Glass and Gemma Darling, but I know they're doing a knit along with a fade needle. They're doing the Granito as a fade.
Fadito.
Danielle. Did I say Danielle? That's her name. Danielle. Okay. So anyways, I am not fading. I'm doing all of this, except I am going to do the inner pocket, a pop of some terrific color, whether it's a mustard gold. I might dye up some mustard gold and have that for the inner lining.
I love that idea.
I it's so this was a lot of short rows were involved here. I'm all about the short rows right now.
Hmm.
I think I have to knit and purl for like 8 inches and then do the front and then combine them.
How many inches are you at now?
5. Let me see if I'm right. Because I have a magical power.
You do.
Oh, oh, I'm falling short. I'm at 6.
Wow.
I must have been looking at the short row end. Not really. Okay, so that is my 3rd sweater. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with the yarn.
I'm so happy.
I just think it is the most beautiful neutral color. I feel like it's part of our neutral line.
Oh, thank you.
It's fabulous. Fabulous. Again, size 4 needles.
Hmm.
Hayas, and these are the interchangeables, but the shorter ones. I might have gotten them at Must Love Yarn.
Yeah.
I love the short tip.
That's what I'm using for my
Love the
for my shawl too. They're great.
Yeah, I'm super happy with it. So, yep, that's sweater number 3.
Sweater number 3. Oh my gosh, you are going to have such an expansive collection. I keep dropping my popcorn.
I already ate all my popcorn, and we have no food in our house.
Dang it.
Dang it is right. So yeah, that's that. I did start a sock too.
Let me see.
Well, I had started it, but last night I was really stockinette stitched out. I was feeling like, okay, knit, 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 knit. And I wanted something a little interesting. So I pulled out my monkey socks that I had started. Now it's clear as a bell. I don't even know what colorway this one is. I know it's
a prototype of Daffodil Disco?
Could be. I know it's like your first try at it, but I love it. It's a pair of socks for Graham's box of socks for Christmas.
That's awesome.
Cookie A monkey sock, which to me is a vanilla sock. It truly is.
Mm-hmm.
I love knitting it. I'm using size 1, my signatures. Ones really are too small for socks for me. Mm-hmm. Like I should be doing a 1.5, but this is a pattern with lots of stretch. So I'm safe with it. Mm-hmm. Having said that, I'm just going to go up to 72 stitches when I use the size 1s.
Yeah.
That's all. And I'm almost ready to turn the heel. I might work on them again tonight. I'm also liking the feel of a small project in my hands compared to a big one.
I'm almost getting there. Last night, I almost caked up my first skein of yarn for Graham's box of socks.
Yeah, I know. We gotta like join forces on that and figure out who's doing what.
Yeah, I have 2 skeins here. I have Kirk and I have Jess that I'll make socks with.
She loves them both. I'll have to pick another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's kind of fun. I'm really starting a little Christmas knitting. Another thing I started, I don't think we talked about, which we probably shouldn't because I can't even remember the pattern. Dad's scarf.
The key.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about it last week. We did. I started it. Ooh, I'm dropping. And I hope I marked what row I stopped on because I just like went boom, 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 and then put it down.
Oh, no.
Kind of in the mood to work on it, too. Loving the shelter. Is it shelter?
Yep.
Kind of want to get a sweater's quantity worth of shelter for a sweater.
That can be why don't you do that for like when the fall gets here?
Yeah, because I still have to work on my ice shanty, my worsted weight sweater.
Yes, you do. I need to finish I need to finish my Madewell and my shelter.
I want to see the shelter one.
I know, me too. I'm really afraid it's going to be too small.
I don't think so. We'll block it.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, that's all our knitting.
Well, I have a project that I'm planning for because my other one is so close to being done.
Yes.
So, I know once I'm done with this, I'm going to pick back up my second Marled Magic, which is going to, now that he's released the pattern, I'm going to turn into a Marled Magic sweater.
I agree. I've been dying to get back to my Marled Magic, and I'm kind of mad at myself because I put it down and I have no idea where I am.
Oh, that one's so easy to pick up, though.
Okay. I kind of know that. Again, I've got this like mental block going on with it. Like, oh, shoot, why'd I put it down? Like, even the flow of color and how I was just, I get so mad at myself when I do that.
That's okay, though, because you're in a totally different rhythm right now. Like, you're loving fingering weight sweaters. So just love that for right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you say so.
Heck yeah. I know I'm going to pick that back up. Because I haven't touched it since our class, and I'm dying to work on it, especially now that the sweater is out. But I am on a Stephen West kick. I feel like such a loser fangirl, and I'm totally not. I just love his patterns. Really, really.
You do, and I have to say, his style, you have similar creative styles. I think that's why, and I think, but what's interesting is because you are so into his patterns right now and creating with them, I feel like I don't know why, I feel like you're going to veer off and become this, like, create a style of your own. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're going to veer off and all of a sudden be like in this new bubble around it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel that.
Definitely. It's kind of like using his technique to kind of develop my own.
Yes. And because you're doing so much, it's kind of like before you can do something on your own, you have to do a lot of it. Like before you could design a sock, you have to knit a lot of socks. Before you can design a sweater, you have to knit a lot of sweaters. That's what it feels like.
I feel like it's the same way with like drawing too. Like before you could be really good at just being able to draw whatever you want, you have to draw a certain way over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. You have to learn to do something right before you can do it wrong. That's a huge, somebody told me that because I had wanted to study to be a cartoonist. That was my goal when I went to art school, and they didn't have a cartooning program. And it quickly went out the door. It really wasn't what I wanted to do. However, one of the most important classes to take was life drawing, because you had to know how to draw the body right before you could exaggerate in other ways and make it work. That's my spiel.
Totally. No, I think it totally relates to what we're talking about. So we'll see. I don't know where I'll land, but right now I'm just really enjoying his patterns. So yeah, Stephen, I'm not mocking you in any way, shape, or form.
I know. I love seeing the Instagram feeds of where, like, I know he was just out in Colorado at Fancy Tiger, maybe. I think I've been to that store, and Sarah was there, knitting type, and I felt like that was us. We did that. Like, I love the fact that we had that experience, or I would be like so envious of all these people and being like, I'm never going to get to do that. And it's so cool that we did. Now, having said that, I want to do it again. I do want to take another class from him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, next time he does a tour, we'll have to find him.
Yeah, definitely.
So, all that being said, the next pattern I want to make is called the Briochevron wrap. This is a sizable pattern. It is huge. So I fully anticipate it probably being on my needles until the end of the year. I hope not.
I don't know, because you tend to fly. Oh my gosh. No, is brioche, that is brioche, right?
Yeah. And I'm just showing you pictures. So when we went to his class, we got his, for anybody that's new, we purchased his West Knits Best Knits book, and he signed it for us, and which is so fun. And I have to say, this is the first ever pattern book that I've purchased. I think I will be doing it a lot more often, because there is something so satisfying about having a book, especially I think specifically for me, that it's a Stephen West book, because I know I will knit probably every pattern in this book.
Yeah.
It is such... I don't even have the words for it. I just love that I'm not looking at my iPad. Like, I haven't started knitting this yet, but, like, I love that I'm not looking on my iPad. I love that I'm not looking on my phone. I love that I can make notes in these little empty sections here.
I was going to ask you that. So are you the type of person that needs that? I should know this about you, and I don't. that needs to keep that book in pristine shape, or do you want to love it and use it to death and write all over it and have it be bent up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what
That's
something?
thought. I know. I feel like I go back and forth with that, but I love to open a book and see notes all over it, or I don't know. It's how my brain works. But go ahead, show us.
It's like the original Ravelry page, you know? Like it's the pattern books with all of your notes, like needle size. Like, did you go up needle size? Did you go down? How did, like, tally marks? I don't know.
The problem for me is I have notes all over the place in some books, and I don't know what they mean anymore. And I write them thinking this makes sense, but it doesn't at all.
That's okay though, because I bet if you were to ever pick up the pattern again and you got, yeah, like, and you got to like a sticky spot, you could look at your notes and be like, yes, that's what
That's what it means. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is just another picture of it for you.
Oh my gosh. I want it for an Afghan.
Well, so this is the Briochevron wrap, but he also has a pattern called the Briochevron blanket, in which I believe it's wider. I don't know if it's longer, and it's knit with DK or worsted. So he has a blanket version of it.
Wow.
So that's what I want to knit next. Not even want to. That's what I'm going to knit next. It's just another way to style it.
You are going to love that.
I think I'm going to. I really do. Well, especially because of the yarn that I'm going to be using and the colors that I'm going to be using.
Okay, so are you going to do it like you did the last one? Like, tell us what you're going to do.
I think so. So I need to look at yardage because I'm not 100% sure how much I'm going to need. I think what I'm going to do is, like you said, similar to the last one, where I'm going to do the same color on one side and then stripe the other. Just because I really like the way it looks, and I like that it gives you a little more of a conservative side and then also a wild and crazy side. So you can kind of gauge wherever you are and where it in that.
So does he give you yardage?
Yes, he does. So the pattern
do on such a big piece.
That's actually a good point. Let me see. Yardage. Main color 1,300 yards. Contrasting color 1,250 yards.
Wow. So 1,300 yards. That's only like 4 skeins of fingering weight.
Yeah. So this is going to be the tricky part, though. I might see, and this is where I'm getting stuck, because I have these skeins of Primrose Yarn Co. I've just been hoarding her yarn everywhere we go, like event-wise. I just buy more and then I hoard it.
So are those fingering or DK?
They're fingering, and they're all singles. So I have 2 of this color, which I really want this to be the back. So I think what I need to do is I either need to message Kelsey
and get more,
stock her shop and buy 2 more skeins, because I think, what is the yardage here? 435 yards. So that would give me what, 870? So
1740. So you only need 1 more, really.
That makes sense. But so I feel like I would get 2 more just because, again, I think I'm going, actually, I might not go up a needle size for that because it's so big. I don't think it'll really matter. Like, I was afraid with the shawl because I knew I was knitting the small size with fingering weight yarn. And because my gauge is a little, I would say it's probably significantly tighter than standard. I didn't want it to be a shawlette. I didn't want myself not to wear it.
I know. So what size needle is he telling you?
For this one, it says,
I do have the book. I could look all this up.
Oh, no, that's okay. It says US 4.
Wow, I would definitely use a 5.
You think so? Well, and I'm using a 6. So the Meandering shawl also called for a 4, and I went with a 6.
Yeah, 4 seems really, what do I know? I'm not a big briocher, but that is not what I would have guessed. I would have said a 5 or a 6.
Yeah. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll even just use the needles that I use for my Meandering shawl, because I really do like the fabric that it gave me.
Yeah, I would say if you like the fabric, I love the thought of that. The other thing I would be curious about, although then you couldn't use that dark gray because it would battle, is if you dyed DK and then used fingering in between. Like use DK as the
Back.
or whatever the main color is. Unless you used a lighter color, then that gray would work. But I love that gray too.
I know.
I love the thought of combining the two weights. Ever since Laura did that, I'm curious of how it feels. I'm curious of how it looks. But that colorway is stunning. That with all your brights, holy cow.
Oh, so remember when I was talking about the Meandering shawl, about all the fluorescence, all of the Chili Knits yarn?
Yes.
I had purchased all of that yarn originally for an exploration station, which has been languishing for, let's call it 2 years now. I have finally made the executive decision that I'm not going to knit that knit, at least right now. I'm going to use all of those electric colors
In there.
in here as pops in between.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
So we'll see. Again, I mean, you saw where my brainstorming went to last time. I didn't follow any of it, but
No, but it's good to process and to change. It's good to talk about it because it either solidifies it or changes it a little. So it's all good.
so that's my next.
That is, you're the one that's going to, we just have to be a little aware my bars are going down. I know, I should have charged it more. It's okay. You're going to be the one that gets me back into shawl knitting.
I can't stop. Every time I think I've fallen out of it, I cast another one on and I'm hooked.
I know, but you're making really like funky, fun, like, I don't know, like, oh, I really want to make one now. Darn it. I'm going to knit on my sweaters like crazy. I want to finish these. I want to have tunnel vision to finish these so that I can say I finished them and have them.
It feels like you're in a really, it feels like you're there. Like there's no budging that right now. So I go with it and do it.
I am. The only thing is every once in a while I'm not in the mood and I don't, like my whole thing is like have other projects so that you're not wasting time if you're not in the mood. But I'm so afraid that mood shift is going to shift me completely away from them. Oh, don't let me.
That's what happened to me. I was just like you. I was on a sweater kick. I had my Madewell, I had my Shelter, and I think they were my only 2 projects for the longest time. And then I was like, I'm doing the mystery knit along. This will be my fun project. Down the rabbit hole I go. There was no coming back.
I am doing his next mystery knit along because I'm so mad I didn't do that one.
We'll do it together.
Yes. When is that happening?
I don't know because, I mean, this one was the beginning of this.
He talked about another one coming, but I can't remember when. Darn it.
I thought maybe in the fall.
Maybe in the fall. That's good. I shouldn't do anything before the fall anyways.
You've got sweaters to knit.
I've got sweaters to knit, and I've got your sweater to knit. I do love every sweater. So if I get sick of the fingering, I'm going to go to the ice shanty and your sweater. Perfect. That'll mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm back.
Back in the zone.
Back in the zone. I could do this. I could do it.
So, yeah, I just thought, because it sounded like a lot of people enjoyed hearing me brainstorm last time, which is insane to me because I sounded like a Looney Tune.
No, it's fun. I really enjoy hearing someone's creative process myself, and that's probably more it. And I love this new project. Darn it.
Which one?
The one that you were just talking about.
I know. Well, so do you want me to go on another tangent really quickly? Because I have another one of his patterns that I want to knit that is not in this book. I want to knit a damn eyeball shawl. And I don't know why, and I don't know how. I feel like I want it to be super, like, creepy almost. I don't know why. So I want the...
I love it.
I want
some lime green in there.
Yeah, I need to figure... Oh, have you seen Kristen's eyeball?
No, I have not seen hers. I've not watched podcasts in so long now.
It's gorgeous.
Okay, so this is what I see. A lime green eyeball with a black center.
Yeah. Yeah. And then something crazy for like the whites.
Oh, darn it.
I need to
You
play.
know what? I think that eyeball shawl is so crazy weird. I'm very intrigued by the knit. Very intrigued by the knit. Um, I would never think I would wear it until I saw them on people. They're fabulous.
Same.
They're how he created an eyeball and why he created an eyeball that turned into the most amazing look.
It's
Well,
well,
can you imagine me like stretching out going, oh, hang on a minute. Someone would be like, what is she holding on to? And then you wrap it around and it's gorgeous.
it's gorgeous. I know. Well, I totally agree with you because prior to seeing him whip it around his neck up at Nito, I was like, I don't like. It's cool, but like, I'm not gonna wear an eyeball around my neck. And then he put it on, and it doesn't look like an eyeball. It is beautiful because between like the ribbing on the outside, it just like frames your face beautifully, and like,
That's what I mean. I noticed it with Christy Glass,
yeah, yeah.
with hers. And one of the Knitters League, Julie, wants to knit the eyeball shawl. And I remember her saying that maybe a couple of them are doing it. And I'm like, it's an eyeball. It's so terrific.
It's so cool.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. So that's another thing that I've been brainstorming. It probably won't happen for a little while. Or maybe when I get my parachute off my needles, maybe I'll cast that on to replace it. How am I going to wear all these shawls? I only have one neck. Just one.
You do, but I was going to say, would Justin ever wear the eyeball shawl if it was like cool colors?
Probably if it was like a forest green eye with like a really nice tan, like white and then brown around the outside. I could make one that he'd love. He's not really a scarf guy.
He's not. He's really not a huge knitwear guy. It's impressive he wears the hat I made him.
He loves that hat.
I know, and I made it for him a long time ago, and he didn't wear it forever.
I know. And then it was like all of a sudden he discovered it, and he was like, oh.
It's the greatest hat because the yarn is so great too. I think it was Malabriga worsted, church mouse yarn, church mouse pattern, easy. I made a million of those.
He's obsessed.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. All right, so oh my gosh, you're gonna make that.
I think so. We'll see. You know how my brain works. It could be totally out the window tomorrow, but
I know. I feel like we need a week away brioching.
yes, please. I do think that this pattern too, this Briochevron wrap that I'm going to cast on, I think that this is going to be a really good next step because I think it's basically increases and decreases. So that way you really get them down.
Yeah, I might have to play with that with you.
Huh?
Darn it.
You should. So, yeah, so that's all of our knitting that we have to talk about.
We did a lot of knitting in 2 weeks.
Not bad. Not bad.
I feel like we were monogamous knitter. Well, trinogamous.
You were sweater-nogamous.
Sweater-nogamous. Sweat-nogamous.
Sweat-nogamous.
Sweat-nogamous. No, it feels good. I have to say, it's a little boring for me. But I realize because my knitting time is a little less, not horribly less. If I want to get anything done, and I was reaching the point of feeling like I wasn't accomplishing anything because I would knit a little of this and a little of that. And I feel like I want to see a pile of sweaters in my bathroom on my hutch.
You're going to very shortly.
I am. I have 2 there so far, and I have 3 more going there. I have a beautiful knitwear collection, I have to say.
Really do.
I do.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, I feel like, I don't know.
I know. We have our update this week.
Yes, we do. We have our update on Thursday, June 8th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be a pretty sizable update. It'll be some of my yarn, some of Mom's yarn. Yeah.
It's, oh my gosh, I have all the yarn here, and oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Like when I open the boxes, I go, whoa. But I can't go near it because I almost took out enough yarn today out of Jumpin' Jellyfish.
I know. There's probably a lot of those left. I don't think we sold it. Oh, God, I want one of those too. Damn it.
There's a lot. I can
pull
pull
some of
for
them.
you.
I'll dye us some.
Okay, I was going to say I can pull one for you. But I kind of want... I'm still kind of focusing on that swing vest too. I haven't...
Has this ever happened before? Twice in a row?
2 times. It's only 5 o'clock.
It's only 5.
But it went off like 10 times.
Wow.
All right. It means I have to make dinner.
I know. I should do the same. Let's be honest. I'm just going to sit down and finish this shawl.
I'm so excited. Send me a picture when you're done.
Do you think I should add tassels? Or do you think I should leave it as is? I can't decide.
Tassels?
What's that?
Did he have tassels on his?
He did on his DK weight one, but not on his fingering one. I feel like the fingering is almost too delicate for tassels.
Yeah, wait and see. I love the tassel. I'm really... It's like that scarfy thing had tassels.
I know.
Still want to make that. That's more knitting on fingering weight.
Huh.
Really want to make that though.
You should.
Darn it. Don't let me start another thing. Okay, so
shop update. Be there if you'd like to be. There'll be a good amount of yarn. Hey, if you're a new podcast viewer, thanks for coming to check us out. Hopefully you made it through the episode. I'm so sorry for not welcoming you earlier. And
or thanking people for coming.
Yeah. And for everybody that came back to hang out with us, hey again, and thank you so much for spending time with us. We appreciate you all. But yeah, so that's all we got for this week. Hopefully you guys are having a great week. Keep on knitting, and
we will be back. It'll be interesting because we have quite a chunk of time we're going to be together. Coming up, we will have to see if we could fit in a podcast during that time. We'll have to see.
It'll be fun. We haven't done
we haven't done it in a long time, and darn it, I really feel like I'm going to start that brioche project with you.
Yes!
So bad. All right.
Good. You're going to love it. All right. Guys, have a great week. Thank you for spending some time with us. Like we always say.
Needles up.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
All I see... You have like your cup with a straw.
What the
Now I can, but you're all pixelated, but it won't show up that way.
It won't show up that way because it looks fine on my screen. Okay, come on.
Mr. Romo. How could you not bring home one of those puppies today?
I literally almost did. I'm just a hot mess.